Hello, everyone. Bitch, no. So, Trump says talks with Ukraine and Russia are going pretty well. Guess what? You will never guess. You will never guess. I guarantee you. You're going to be so shocked. He's lying. He says he has a plan. He has, discussion scheduled with Ukraine and Russia. And I don't know where he's getting the idea that those are going well because the answer is no. And I think the reason that particular narrative is going on is because of one thing. Trump's special envoy for Ukraine and Russia, Keith Kellogg, said that Zelensky is prepared to soften his position on territory. What it likely means is that Zelensky will probably give up on Crimea. That's the likely situation. However, that does not mean he's prepared to give up 20% of Ukrainian land territory. And that is what Trump and Kellogg are, in fact, proposing. So, Ukraine said, fuck yourself, quite correctly. Particularly pathetic is the insistence of Kellogg is that both sides will give a little bit. Oh yeah, show me what Russia has to give up. Show me what sacrifices Russia has to make. Show me. What territory will they be losing? So, understandably, folks in Ukraine are like, what are you talking about, brah? So, and again, I've made it very clear, Zelensky, not my favorite person, but here I agree with him. He basically said, we haven't seen the full interview, but if his plan is just a ceasefire and election, that is bullshit. Because all that's going to do is leave Russia in Ukrainian territory, give them time to reset, accumulate more troops, more weapons, etc., and attack again. That is crap. Now, the second point I'm kind of curious about. This is coming from British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. So he says that Putin was rattled and concerned by the threat of sanctions. Where did he get that from? I honestly, want to know because we talked about this. Russia has been sanctioned up to its neck forever now, since 2014, since the annexation of Crimea. And the sanction packets have been introduced and introduced and introduced and expanded ever since that. So why these sanctions? Why now? Why would he be rattled about this? Because that just doesn't make any sense. I'm going to treat this as a developing story because I want more information on this. It's just the mere idea that any sanctions might rattle Putin doesn't compute for me. Germany's Olaf Scholz continues saying that Ukraine needs to be in the strongest position to negotiate. And what are you going to do to make sure that that actually happens? What have you done, Olaf? Because you have been very wibbly wobbly on the aid to Ukraine, on Ukraine EU membership, on Ukraine NATO membership. How are you going to ensure that strongest position for Ukraine in the coming months? Going back to the story we talked about yesterday, the bombing of a school where civilians were hiding in the Kursk region in the town of Sudzha. Obviously, Moscow is accusing Ukraine, but at this point, once again, between the eyewitness reports and satellite photography, tracking, all of that, there is no doubt that the airplane that dropped those bombs came from Russian side. There just isn't. Besides, again, remember, this is the part of Russia where Ukrainian troops are at. What the fuck reason would Ukrainian troops have to bomb the territory where their own troops are? That wouldn't make any sense. For all my buddies keeping track of the oil refineries, we hit another one. This time is in Volgograd region. They're saying they have contained it. Once again, they're saying that their air defenses intercepted and destroyed 70 Ukrainian drones overnight. However, it doesn't matter. Once again, if they shot those drones over the target and pieces of the burning drones fell down and started a fire, mission accomplished. Either way, it works. Continuation from the yesterday stories regarding the murder of an army draft officer in Poltava. 2 men were charged with that. And again, this goes deeper to a bigger problem in Ukraine. That Ukraine is basically having trouble with viable sources of new troops. And, I mentioned in the past that one of the biggest challenges we have is that we've had troops out there for almost 3 years now that have been fighting with virtually no leave. They may have had time off here and there, a couple of weeks, but mostly they have been there nonstop. And this is something that my family knows personally because we had 4 family members out there in various points at the front. One of them was killed a year and a half ago. One was taken prisoner. We don't know if he's still alive. And we have 1 soldier and 1 medic still out there. So, understandably, Ukraine is trying to recruit more people, but since it is a brutal business, it is a war, people don't want to be recruited. And that is just one of many things that led to this murder. Now, that's a good point. So, Polish President Andrzej Duda said that it would be helpful for Poland to be involved in the conversation between Russia and Ukraine. And actually, I think it's a good idea. Why Poland? Several things. Poland is right there. Look at the map. Look, Russia, Ukraine, Poland. You see why Poland might be interested in this. Poland already had some crap fly over the border and fall in Polish territory. They already had a situation where they had to scramble their jets to protect their airspace. Also, Poland has history with both Russia and Ukraine. So, Poland can provide valuable testimony about what is happening, Russia's expansionist policy, and so on and so forth. So, Poland is a very long-term, knowledgeable ally. And as I mentioned in the past, if you look up the history between Poland and Ukraine, you'll see they had their differences. There were some brutal wars, brutal conflicts between the two, but they were able to set them aside against a common enemy, Russia. So, yes, I think it would be a good idea to involve Poland. In addition, Poland is one of the most active suppliers of aid to Ukraine. It is a staging ground for the suppliers of aid from other countries, and it is housing millions of Ukrainian refugees. Poland is the one that had to take in millions of Ukrainians, house them, feed them, provide medical treatment, find them jobs, educate them, put their kids at school, etc. So yes, I think Polish participation is a most excellent idea. Whether other parties will take up on it, that is a question. More to come.